Been working on the Melling Ford, and finally got the chassis all done. Now it's time to do the body and the decals. First thing you want to do if you want a decent paint job is make sure you wash all the body parts before you even think about painting them, because a lot of times there's little imperfections or dirt or whatever that'll totally screw up your paint job. I usually do the hood first. A little test spray to clear the nozzle. And then you start on the body. A little dusting on there first, so the paint has something to stick to. You already got a little glob on the hood, I see. But that's what happens when you use spray paint. Try not to get it on too thick, because with this particular model I only have flat white, so I'm going to have to hit it with some clear so I can get a little shine out of it. If you get too much paint on there, it can end up with it bubbled up a little bit. And never ever smoke while you're doing your model, because ashes will totally ruin a paint job. And always wipe off the surface of what you're painting on, or you run the risk of picking up little pieces of trash while you're spraying your paint. I always put a little extra on the top side so it lays nice and flat. So you get a real nice surface, because when you, depending on what kind of decals you're putting on, especially on race cars, whatever little imperfection you have in the paint will show real bad in the decals sometimes. So we're going to pause it for a few minutes, let it start to set up, and then I'll hit it with some clear. Alright, we're back. It's about, I don't know, maybe 5 to 7 minutes later, and my fast dry paint is dried up. I'm a little bit hesitant to do this because I usually wait about an hour, because a lot of times what will happen is the paint will reactivate, and if that happens to your bottom coat, you can have some serious problems. But for our purposes, we're going to push it a little bit. So first we'll hit the hood. The main thing with clear is never get too close, because it runs like water. If you get too close to what you're working on, you'll have runs in places you never even expected to see them. Already see a couple of imperfections, but it happens. My biggest pet peeve on stuff like this is runs. I don't like to have runs in my paint jobs. But it's looking pretty good. And always have some decent light available, so you can check what you did, because if you end up too light on paint in some spots, especially with clear, it can show all splotchy, really make them look like crap. It looks like we ended up okay. Suppose the next video will be about putting on the decals. Alright, just a little follow-up here. I'm relatively happy with the way it all turned out. Got a couple of minor blemishes, but nothing too bad. A lot of people will clear coat them after they get the decals on. I generally don't like to do that because it makes them look, they don't look real when you do that, and I like them to look like the actual car. But that's the first stage in doing the body. Next we'll move on to the decals.